Hello, everybody. I'm John Gauthier with Gopher Industrial, and we're here today with Carl Svebek, Bassmaster Open Angler, Gopher sponsored, and just got back from the third tournament of the Southern Series.
Right.
And from Lake Chickamauga in Tennessee.
You bet.
And had a really good tournament. So tell us a little bit
well,
about it, Carl.
I did, John. I tell you, I was so excited. I mean, I'd never been to Chickamauga before, and kind of took the approach as I'm just going to figure it out as I go. And of course, I got there, and it's full of fish. I mean, it was incredible. I mean, they were bringing in, I heard of one co-angler had 3 fish, which is the limit for co-anglers there, that had 3 fish that went right at 20 pounds. So give you an indication. I mean,
fish.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, huge fish. 11.5, I think, was big bass.
That's a good fish.
My goodness, it was, I felt good about it. And, I had one of those days on the first day of the tournament. I had a good practice. I was catching some fish deep and catching some fish shallow. And it kind of goes to tell you sometimes that, always fish your strengths, fish your strong points, because I think I may have mixed it up a little bit too the first day. And, I was shallow to deep, and I wasn't totally committed. But I was very fortunate I was able to catch 13.5 pounds the first day, which put me kind of, I don't know, around 60th, 62nd, 63rd, around in that area. And I knew then I had at least a shot, not so much to win it, but I had a shot to get the money. And I tell you, the second day, I made up my mind I was committing to what I like to do. Everybody knows, I throw that Swebo, and I'm looking.
Wacky worm.
And looking for bedfish. And I was very fortunate the second day. I was running along and covering water, throwing the wacky worm. I looked in front of the trolling motor, and there's just huge fish.
Kind of takes your breath away.
When
you see one like that.
It took your
game changer.
Oh, game changer.
Fish.
And I mean, I saw it, had no idea where it came from. I just knew that it was cruising along. Of course, it wouldn't have anything to do with my bait. And it disappeared. And I was like, man, where'd this guy go? And I ended up fishing around and going back and didn't find it and leaving. And then I said, one last time I'm going to go back. And, I went back to where this fish was. I had no idea if it was on a bed or not. And was just about to leave, just about ready to pick up the trolling motor. And out of the corner of my eye, I saw this fish roll, and she was in about 3.5 foot of water. And of course, like you said, game changer. My second flip, she ate it, and I was able to catch her. She was right at 8 pounds. And then, of course, that does a lot for your confidence. For you fishermen out there, I mean, that was like, wow, man, now I'm ready to go catch another one. And
good
I managed
start to a good way.
Yeah, it was just great, and it makes me feel good. And I know that, hopefully that'll lead into some confidence down the road. And I managed to get the money, which is, that's always good. And that was kind of a goal after the first day of not doing so well that I wanted to accomplish. So it was a great tournament, John.
Well, in watching how it all kind of played out and stuff, and you did good the first day. I mean, you had you finished solid, and of course not where you wanted to be, but you were solid. Like I said, you were within striking distance. You had a good day, caught a good solid bag. Didn't have the kicker fish that day,
right?
And that's what helps you. So kind of tell what first day, what would be your 2 primary baits that you were throwing?
Primary, like I said, most of y'all know I like to throw that wacky worm, and there's a small window, 2 to 3 weeks going into the spawn. It's just typically where you have some fish on the beds and you have a lot of fish roaming in the shallows. It's actually the bait that I cover a lot of water, believe it or not, as slow as it is. I try to constantly throw it while I'm looking, and so that's how I primarily caught the majority of my fish throughout the tournament. I mean, the first day, I caught a lot of fish on some big swim baits, and some, and big worms out offshore. I just couldn't get the quality. I think a lot of the bigger fish haven't moved out yet. But I was getting enough bites in practice and catching a good one every now and then that I thought, well, I better try it. And it kind of took me out of my game plan. But that was the 2 things I did. And I look for those real, off-the-wall places when I'm throwing this wacky worm. I mean, I kind of look for those places that maybe not getting as much pressure. The one big one I caught it off the end of a lay down that, you wouldn't have saw it unless you were on top of it.
Had to be looking
for
the
water. Yeah, you had to be looking for that stuff. And I love doing that. As most people that know me, I mean, I really enjoy fishing that wacky.
Well,
bed.
there's no doubt. And in bed fishing, anytime you can get fish on beds, I love to do the same thing. I mean, that's probably my favorite. If I got time to go fish, if I can make days that I'm going to sneak off and go and try to grab 3 or 4 hours, it's going to be when those fish are on beds, because it's number one, I love to catch them. I always say it's my one opportunity a year to be able to agitate a woman on purpose. And so I really like to catch them things. It's a lot of fun, but so you had a good day on the first day, and then you come and you really rebound. I don't want to say rebounded, because you just improved really good the second day by focusing on your strength.
Right.
And been able to stay with that. And I guess you stayed with the Swebo, the wacky worm, the majority of the day?
I did. I don't know if I don't believe I even picked up another rod that whole second day. I was committed to it. Now it wasn't easy. I mean, there were a lot of lulls, a lot of grueling times, and even after I caught that 8-pounder at 11 o'clock, I'm wondering, I hope I can get to, but I was confident I was going to. That was my third fish, but it was a great tournament. I look back on it. I had a great experience. I learned a little bit about another lake that I haven't been to before. And, hey, it leads me to probably the biggest tournament that I've fished for a long time. And it's a big one for my career, because it's right here in our hometown in Orange, Texas. So,
that's right. The next tournament for you is here at the home of Gopher Industrial, as a matter of fact, here in Orange, Texas. And going to be but it's a river system, a little bit different, and you get to spend a little bit more time here practicing. Chickamauga was a brand new lake, never been there before, which kind of tells you guys a lot of times it takes a few days to figure out some new water, but this is going to be water that you're used to, which leads to a whole different set of stuff, because home field advantage, right? And we all kind of know that puts a lot of undue pressure on people a lot of times, but this is a good fishery, got a lot of great fish in it, and a lot of numbers of fish. And finding those few quality fish, that's going to be the key.
And I know that's one thing leading into this tournament that I want to spend a lot of time out there. I want to be able to go out and feel confident and that in what I'm doing. And I don't know if that's going to be a mile from the boat ramp or 70 miles away. That's the thing about it. And Orange is great, because you catch so many fish close, but there's so much water, and I want to do my homework. I want to do the best I can, and it's not a personal deal for me. I want to do the best I can for my family and friends and the great people in Orange. I mean, they're like family to me, and nothing would make me happier. I know it's going to be a great support group, and I'm looking forward to it. And I tell you, everybody's got to tune in, because we're going to be bringing you a lot more video, a lot more interviews. I'm going to be interviewing this guy. Him and David Jones are both co-chairs for the Orange tournament here. And I'm telling you, it is a lot more than just a tournament. I mean, I'm talking about they're going to have a little bit of everything, getting folks out there. We're going to bring all that to you over the next month and a half, keep you posted with the concerts and what's going on. I know they're going to have catfish pond for the kids. Gopher Industrial, big player in this tournament. I mean, they put a lot into it, and a lot of it is lined for the kids. I mean, it's a huge deal.
That's right. We do our best, and we will, as we update in the next, the few videos coming up in the next few weeks before this event takes place in 6 weeks. But we've got, we're going to really build it around. Orange has embraced bass fishing. We were really known for a saltwater fishery for years and years, but the bass fishing is definitely coming on strong with our partnership with Bass and those guys, and them continuing to come here and bring those events is very important to us to do that. But it's a great place, and we try to make it a family event. But we know that we're looking forward to what you're going to be able to do here and represent Orange and represent Gopher Industrial as one of the sponsored fishermen. It's you're right. Gopher puts a lot into it, and if you get a chance, go to gopherindustrial.com, www.gopherindustrial.com, and look at what we have, and look at some of the items, because like I said, it's not only industrial stuff, but it's stuff you can use for your home. But we're about fishing. We want to talk about fishing, and we know guys are interested in it. So can you give us maybe a little lead time, what you think might be working? Because it is a river system, a little different. Talk about that a little bit.
And it's a lot of it's a learning experience for me. I mean, this is a body of water that I haven't fished. Now, I've fished a lot of similars, and I say I haven't fished. I haven't fished any major tournaments here, but I've been fishing as much and many opportunities, and I look for it to be numerous things. I mean, we're not going to be like was at Table Rock 2 months ago and throwing a swim bait in 105 foot of water. We're going to be up there shallow. I mean, these are shallow
very
fish,
shallow.
and we're going to be looking for those real subtle places. We're going to be looking at, getting away from the crowds, trying to find current. It's
Tidal
tidal.
flow, that's right.
That's
Tidal flow
probably
is
a huge
important.
player here, is where you have the current coming in and out and keying in on those spots. But it's going to be a great tournament. Man, we got so much good things to tell you guys, and I know, like I said, I'll be interviewing him next time so he can fill you in on all the good stuff that's going to be happening that week. And we certainly appreciate everything, John. It's been a lot of fun, and we'll get ready for this next one in Orange.
That's right, we will, and we look forward to talking to you guys again and bringing you some more information as we move forward. But everybody have a good time on the water, and I'll remember, like we always say, let the gopher get it.